So before the FBI threw my uncle in jail, he gave me some great career advice. This was back in 2009, which feels like eons ago. I was a dumb 26-year-old binge-drinking idiot who had just sold his first TV show to Comedy Central. He was an older entertainment exec navigating the end of a tumultuous career in Hollywood. You can picture him as a blend of Gordon Gekko, Colonel Sanders from KFC, and Hunter S. Thompson, if that's possible in your brain. We were eating enchiladas in Santa Monica. I thought we were there to celebrate my huge accomplishment, but he wanted to warn me about the dangers that lay ahead. After sucking down his second margarita, his Irish eyes got extra squinty, and he said, this is my uncle's voice, "You think you're real hot shit, huh? You have no idea what's coming. Do you want to know what Hollywood is? What it really fucking is?" Me? What did I say? I was like, yeah, sure, tell me. My uncle? It's a fucking wormball. A what? A what? What is a wormball? My uncle, who does speak like this, why don't you shut the fuck up and I'll tell you. When there's bad weather or bad soil, worms gather into a giant mutating ball underground. Every worm in that ball is fighting their way to the center where it's the safest. The same thing drives Hollywood. If you're not squirming towards the center, then you're going to get cast out to the dirt. That's the game we all have to play. Fight for your safety or get pushed out. The whole industry, the entire entertainment industry, is one desperate, fear-driven clusterfuck. The outer layer is made up of all the kids who moved here because some asshole from their small town who wanted to fuck them told them they have what it takes to make it. Those delusional idiots are the insulating layer that protects the wormball. Worms like you who get past those dipshits have to keep fighting to get to the next layer of safety. And it goes on and on and on like Dante's butt-fucking inferno. But here's the craziest part, you dumb fuck. And again, this is his words, not mine. Worms are hermaphrodites, so they all have pussies and dicks. Every worm in the wormball is fucking and fighting their way to the center with their worm pussies and their worm dicks. Everyone fucks everyone, both literally and financially. Then once you get in a few levels, there's no more soil, which means there's no more food to eat. So all the worms survive by eating each other's shit. You have to survive on eating other people's shit to keep advancing to the center where it's safest, where you can't get cast out. So the nucleus of Hollywood, the safest core center, where all the power really lies, is just one big incestual shit-eating fuckfest. Are you ready to eat shit and get fucked? Because that's what you're signing up for. Again, it was pretty close to verbatim. I changed a few words, but it's accurate. And at the end of this rant, my jaw dropped. I started laughing uncontrollably, which only enraged my already angry uncle. Then years later, after he was convicted of fraud and featured on an American Greed episode, you can do some sleuthing on that. And after I had been through many ups and downs in this entertainment business, I came to the realization that his wormball metaphor is pretty damn accurate. Yes, it's absurd and very cynical, but it's also a fun analogy that I can use to help you. So I turned my uncle's rant into a not safe for work-ish Hollywood survival guide. It can help you understand the power structure of the entertainment industry so you can construct a path towards a sustainable career. Remember the scene in Forrest Gump when Forrest and Bubba arrive in Vietnam? Shirtless, hungover Lieutenant Dan walks out of a tent with a cigar hanging out of his mouth. He proceeds to give two fresh-faced recruits a breakdown on how to stay alive. That's me. That's my goal with this next series of posts. I'm not a legend like William Goldman or Linda Obst, both who had long, illustrious careers in Hollywood and wrote memoirs about it. My best storytelling work is ahead of me. I hope, and I do hope that this breakdown helps some of you stay in the fight just a little bit longer as we go through all of this change and consolidation. I love talking about career strategy, even though I'm not great at applying it to my own career. And I love helping other writers solve the which project medium path dilemma. Probably start offering courses and consults in that space soon. Also, the Wormball Survival Guide is not written to bash Hollywood. I dedicated most of my adult life to understanding this pyramid scheme of beautiful, ugly people making mediocre stories for the numbed out masses. I love it. I still want to make movies, big ones too. And I'm also not going to cover all the ways to become a better writer or to improve your craft. Go take a script anatomy course for that. They have perfected story structure boot camps. I wasn't a good writer until I started teaching there. The wormball is just simply armor for anyone questing into the bowels of Hollywood. When I was starting my journey, a bunch of older writers advised me not to pursue this career, and I told them to go fuck themselves. In my head, of course. I didn't say that out loud. Now I am one of those older writers doing the same thing, waving the same red flag, carrying around the same duffel bag of war stories. All ye who dare to enter, danger lies ahead, so you best be fucking ready for it. I spent 15 years fighting my way to the center of the wormball before it started to feel more like an addiction, not a passion. I sold 3 shows, optioned a handful of scripts, but I just couldn't break into the next layer of safety and security, which is going from a working TV writer and show creator to an in-demand showrunner. But maybe you can. Maybe you can take some of this information, some of this guide, and get one level deeper than I did. My goal is to share everything I learned on my journey to help guide yours. So here we go. Lesson number 1, the 9 levels of power in Hollywood. I basically just use Dante's Inferno as a framing device. Let's start with a meditation. So all of you writers out there, whoever's listening, just close your eyes. Imagine standing on the ledge of a diving board that is hovering over one of those Sarlacc pits from Star Wars. You look down into a muddy hole and it's filled with millions of worms. The diameter is about 50 feet wide. You can't see into the center, but you know it's down there, somewhere deep underground. You can only see the upper layer of the ball, where hundreds of thousands of worms are all squirming over each other and morphing the shape of the surface. It's hypnotic and terrifying at the same time. In your hand is a script that you have spent 2 years perfecting, and in your pocket, maybe a few business cards of contacts and a flash drive holding your portfolio. When you look down again, you realize all of the worms below you are also carrying around their own dream projects and cover letters. Your goal, if you choose to accept it, is to jump off the ledge and squirm towards the center while protecting that precious dream in your hand. Taking this leap is the only way to get your ideas made at this scale. It's going to be suffocating in there, but you have to do it. You have to make the jump, have to fully commit yourself to this fight and immerse yourself in the struggle. You're going to make enemies in every layer, and you're going to leave behind many worm friends who are talented, but they don't have the grit to follow you deeper and deeper into the wormball. Sometimes you won't know the difference between friends or enemies until it's too late, until their lawyers have drawn first blood. Remember, there are no rules in the wormball. It's a clusterfuck comprised of endless chaos, nation-state-sized egos, and it's all packed into a large Hadron Collider of conflicting opinions and huge ambitions. Other times, you won't know the difference between up, down, left, and right, like getting tossed around in an ocean wave and panicking because you don't know which way to swim for air. But that is the key to surviving in the wormball, flowing with the current, not fighting it, becoming one with the current trends of culture. The wormball does not respond to talent and effort. It rewards grifters with good timing. Can you be in the right place at the right time with the right pitch to advance to the next layer? So you ready? Imagine taking that last big, deep breath of fresh air and you step off the diving board. You're weightless for a few seconds, your entire body tenses, and you hit. It's a soft landing. Wasn't so bad, but then you notice another worm trying to rip that script out of your hands, claiming it was their idea, even though you just met them. You rip it back away, clutch that script to your chest, and you slowly sink into the pit. Inch by inch, you get covered by fellow worms until you are fully submerged, swallowed whole. Welcome to the wormball, my friend. There are 9 levels of power in the wormball, and they all overlap. If you want to know what they are, head to my Substack. Keep reading. The more you know. Later.